Hi all. Today we are going to discuss about tropical cyclone. Myself Kathika from Department of Space Science, St. Albert's College, Autonomous. We are going to discuss about the tropical cyclone. We can look what is the tropical cyclone. So what is a tropical cyclone? Tropical cyclone is an extreme weather event. We describe it as an extreme weather event because we have torrential rainfall, very heavy rainfall, flash floods. Flash floods means which we cannot detect earlier. Suddenly there will be floods and there are strong winds. And when this tropical cyclone hits us, there will be tremendous loss of human life and property. We had already faced so many cyclones. Recently also we had faced a flood due to cyclones. And what is the development region of a tropical cyclone? Western sides or the western sections of Atlantic Ocean, Pacific and Indian Ocean. Yes, the tropical cyclone originates in the oceanic region. Atlantic Ocean, the cyclone is known as tropical cyclone is known by another name, hurricane. Western Pacific, it is known by typhoon. And Asia or Indian Ocean region, it is known as tropical cyclone. So this cyclone is known as tropical cyclone in Indian Ocean region. It is known as hurricane in Atlantic and it is known as typhoon in Western Pacific region. So what are the conditions? What are the favorable cyclogenesis condition? What do you mean by cyclogenesis? Cyclogenesis is the process of formation of cyclone. How this cyclone formation starts, that is meant by cyclogenesis. So we should have several conditions for this process. The first one is that the ocean waters, it originates in the warm ocean water. So the ocean water must be warm. It should have a temperature of about 26.5 degrees Celsius throughout to a depth of about 50 meter. So it should be warm ocean water and it should have a temperature, the ocean water should have a temperature of 26.5 degrees Celsius and also the atmosphere should be potentially unstable to moist convection. Potentially unstable to moist convection means when we go higher, the atmospheric must cool fast. With respect to height, the atmospheric must cool fast. And this condition is generated mostly by the thunderstorm activity. Thunderstorm activity liberates the heat stored in the oceanic region, heat stored in the regions. Thunderstorm activity leads to this atmospheric, potentially unstable atmosphere. And in the middle tropospheric region, there should be relatively moist layers. If there are dry layers, it will not be conductive, it will not support the thunderstorm activity. And there should be minimum distance of at least 500 km from the equator. Why there should be minimum distance from at least 500 km from the equator? Because of the Coriolis force is required to maintain this low pressure system. So the low pressure system develops into this tropical cyclone, and for a low pressure system must to form or low pressure system to sustain, there should be Coriolis force. Because when the air begins to flow, it will not flow continuously into the low pressure region if there is no other force there. So the Coriolis force is a force which deflects the air to the right in the northern hemisphere and left in the southern hemisphere. So there should be Coriolis force is required. Since Coriolis force is minimum, Coriolis force is the apparent force that we experience due to the rotation of Earth. And Coriolis force should be minimum. Coriolis force must be there. Because of that, it is required a minimum distance of at least 500 km from the equator for the development of tropical cyclone. Then, there should be a pre-existing near-surface disturbance. Pre-existing near-surface disturbance, there should be any feeble low-pressure system with vorticity. Vorticity is a rotational tendency. Convergence is air from the surroundings just coming to a point. That is a convergence. Or there should be weakly organized system. With a sizable spin and low-level inflow, there should be weakly organized system. It can lead to the development of tropical cyclone. And there should be weak vertical wind shear between the surface and upper troposphere. That is, weak vertical wind shear means wind shear is the change in wind velocity with respect to height. So as we go upwards, this change must be less. That is, it should be about less than 10 meter per second. If there is a large vertical wind shear, tropical cyclone will not develop. So, but these are the necessary conditions, but they are not the sufficient. Because sometimes many small disturbances in the oceanic region, many small rotating systems in the oceans, it may develop into tropical cyclones sometimes without all of these conditions. So these are the necessary conditions, but they are not sufficient conditions. One or two can also lead to the tropical cyclone formation. This anatomy of a tropical cyclone. So we can see this is a tropical cyclone. There is an ocean region. It originates in the oceanic region. And here it is a central part of this tropical cyclone. This is the central part. And this is the spinning water. It shows the spinning water. The spinning tendency of the spinning property of water is known as vorticity. So we can look about the life cycle of tropical cyclone. So tropical cyclone life cycle of tropical cyclone can be divided into 4 stages. First one is the formative stage. Second one is the immature stage. Third one is the mature stage. And fourth one is the decaying stage. So what is meant by the formative stage? We have initial low pressure disturbance here. And this initial low pressure disturbance, it intensifies and it forms depression. What do you mean by depression? Depression is a low pressure system. We classify low pressure systems to this low, depression and all depending upon wind speed. So when it intensifies into depression means that is the wind speed is more. And then again it intensifies into deep depression means winds will be more stronger. And it leads to the tropical cyclone development. And the wind speed is about 40 knots. 40 knots means about 25 meters per second. Knots is another unit used to represent the wind speed. So, I and wall cloud region is formed. I is the central region of the cyclone and the cyclone is merely, it is just a rotating system. So, I is the central region, wall cloud is, there will be clouds surrounding this I region, that is wall cloud. And the pressure difference between the outermost closed isobar to the central pressure must be of about 10 HPA pressure. 10 HPA pressure difference must be there. And associated with this storm, we can see clear clouds and rain, and it occurs in disorganized pattern. We we find this tropical cyclone by using satellite. From the satellite cloud pictures, we can observe the circular cloud masses. When we observe the circular cloud masses, that means it is the first stage of the tropical cyclone development. And the duration is about few days to 10 days. So the formative stage, first stage of the tropical cyclone takes about few days to 10 days. And next one is the immature stage. So what is about the immature stage? What is about the immature stage? There is a rapid fall of pressure. Immature stage means in the central region of the tropical cyclone, tropical cyclone, the pressure decreases. Rapid fall means pressure decreases very fast. And what happens when in the middle portion, when this pressure decreases fast, the surrounding air and thus the water. When we say about tropical cyclone, it develops in the oceanic region. So when this air flows and with this wind field or strength, the water also from the surrounding will come into this surrounding in the central region. So the strengthening of winds occurs in this surface circulation. We can see the more organized, in this immature stage, we can see more organized winds, clouds and precipitation pattern. When the surrounding air comes into this low pressure center, then it begins to rise and it forms clouds. And it can form a fight ring around the center into a spiral band. It is just spiraling inward. And the duration of tropical cyclone in India, for this immature stage in India, beyond Arabian Sea, it is about half to 1 day. And in Atlantic Ocean, duration is about 2 to 3 days. Then the third stage is the mature stage. So what happens in this mature stage? Mature stage, we have a longer fall in central pressure. Central pressure falls longer. Central pressure decreases larger and without the increase of wind strength. There will not be wind strength will not increase, but the central region the pressure will be falling. And when this happens, the circulation expands its area, or the system expands horizontally in all directions and it reaches its maximum size. This cyclone reaches its maximum size in this mature stage. So there will be strong winds and it extends from 200 miles from the center. And maximum wind and maximum pressure gradient, it will be concentrated on the right sector, and cyclonic storm will be developed in northern hemisphere and the duration is about few days to 1 week. So mature stage duration is about few days to 1 week. Then we come into the last stage, that is a decaying stage. So what's about this decaying stage? In the decaying stage, the TC weakens rapidly rapidly or speedily, it decays and then it goes into deep depression and lows. The first thing is that cyclone develops from low pressure region, low, and here there will be wind speed. When it becomes depression, wind speed will be more. When it becomes deep depression, wind speed will be again more. So, and when it starts to weaken, it becomes deep depression, then it becomes depression, then it becomes low, and it decays. Because here, what fuels this tropical cyclone is the warm ocean waters fuels this tropical cyclone. If there is no warm ocean water to sustain this energy, it will decay out. Also, when this cyclone enters into the land area, then the moisture supply is cut off. For tropical cyclone development and for its maintenance, moisture supply is very important. So when it enters into the land area, the moisture supply is cut off and it weakens. So when this enter into the cold water also, when cold water enters into the tropical cyclone, it just destroys its circulation pattern or circulation system. And when it enter into the mid-latitude westerlies also, it gets the frontal characteristics. It may become extratropical cyclone also. Tropical cyclone can become extratropical cyclone also by changing its characteristics. That is a decaying stage. This is the structure of tropical cyclone. Here, this central region is said to be the eye region. This is the eye wall region. We have the outflow cloud. We can see so many different types of clouds here. There are these are the thunderstorm clouds, spiral rain bands. Here also we can see the thunderstorm clouds. This is the outflow cloud shield. This is the anatomy of a tropical cyclone. This is the cross section. And in the top view, from the satellite, we can see this eye region and also the eye wall region. We can see just a cloud, just a few clouds only from the satellite region. Satellite, we can observe this eye also. And this is also another representation. Here it shows how this air goes, how the air, descending air clockwise means it shows the descending air and all. So we are going to discuss about the horizontal structure of tropical cyclone. So this eye of the cyclone is characterized by calm winds, clear sky and calm weather. Here, in the case of this tropical cyclone, in the eye of the cyclone, air starts to descend. When the air is coming down, when the air starts to descend, when it is coming down, there will be calm winds. And we can observe a broken cloud cover also here. Here, because we are observing descending motion and sultry conditions. And its diameter is about 10 to 50 kilometers second. We have the eye has different shapes, circular shape, elliptical shape or diffused shape. Sometimes diffused eye in double eye can also be observed. And the surface temperature is slightly higher than the surrounding. In the inside eye, surface temperature will be more. And the eye of a tropical cyclone moves relative to the apparent center of the cyclone. We can observe a wobble. Wobble means the apparent movement, the movement of the cyclone with respect to the outside thing, eye wobbling. We can observe that eye of tropical cyclone moves related to that is said to be the eye wobble. Then we have the walled cloud region. In the walled cloud region is the adjacent region to the eye of the tropical cyclone is said to be the walled cloud region, and it is the most dangerous part because the width of the walled cloud region is about 20 kilometers second. We can observe the huge cumulonimbus clouds here. Cumulonimbus cloud towers are observed and the maximum pressure gradient, heavy precipitation and maximum strongest winds are observed here. And the pressure gradient in this walled cloud region can be observed about 0.2 to 0.5 HPA. Then the temperatures are colder than that of the eye region here. Then we have the outer storm region. Outer storm region is the area from walled cloud to the outermost region of tropical cyclone. When we move away from this walled cloud region, wind speed decreases and over the Indian seas, we can observe two different types of outer storm region. Gradual decrease of wind speed we can observe as we move away from this walled cloud region and rapid decrease of wind speed as we move away from the walled cloud region. Over the Indian seas, there are two different types of phenomena can be observed here. For more reference, you can refer these books and you can refer also this video. Thank you.